About time we get some Springsteen up in here. And what better to go with than the brand new album, Letter to You. Now, I'm not overly familiar with Bruce and the E Street Band. I know the hits and I know some of the non-hits, but I've never really just sat down and listened to him. So this should feel fresh in its own way. Well, here we go. Just Bruce and a nice little acoustic melody. Very old school country, which I've stated in the past is my favorite style of country. It's very laid back and I wasn't expecting it to be the start. As the track proceeds, it starts to build up the backing music. Just the perfect amount, and it just feels really natural. It's a good way to start. Title track, and this is the style of music I would expect when I'm throwing on some Bruce Springsteen. Old school East Coast rock and roll. The solid yet dynamic instrumentals, thanks to the multiple layers of music from the E Street Band. I like the tone of the lead guitar that comes through, along with the organs. Nice complementary tonality. Some may say this song makes Bruce sound old, but for one, he is, and also he's always sounded like this. It really hasn't changed since the beginning. Song worthy of being the title track. All aboard! This sounds a bit like U2 mixed with Springsteen. Thankfully, much more of the Springsteen side. Bruce pushes his vocals in the bridge, and it just works oh so nicely. I will say though, that sometimes I wish the music would, kind of just tone down, lay itself back a little bit. It's upbeat pretty much the entire time, and it kind of starts to, wear out its welcome. But only a little bit. Really good guitar work that is deceptively complex. I like the way the chorus gets built up and then delivers. This build-up is short but effective. It's crazy to think that all these years later, they still have not lost their signature sound. I can really, see this one becoming a fan favorite just to sing along with the band. There is, though, some fat that really could have been trimmed off this song, though. Back to the rolling guitar and solid vocals. It doesn't last long, though, as it just goes back into being the arena rock style that they've, of course, helped build up for so long. The song brings on some sexy sax to harmonize with the guitars. That's always great. Really, though, that's the only thing in this song that stands out to me. Otherwise, it just really follows the status quo that's been set up so far. Get some standout piano. It feels a bit wasted though, as it evolves just back into the norm. Before you get all uppity, yes, I know this is how they sound. And it's a good sound. I'm just saying that is my observation. I look for songs that have their own identity. And you can still do that even if the songs sound similar. But so far on this album, all the songs, for the most part, sound a little too similar without much to really pull them apart. I want to go to a place with 1,000 guitars. This song goes where I was hoping the last song would go. Vocals with just piano. In storytelling types of music, I feel just isolated vocals with either guitar or piano, just one isolated instrument, to me works the best. Then as you go, you can, build it up. And this song does that so well. It's a little more the same, but it has the flair to stick out. We could use a Rainmaker right about now. We go back to that more, rock country style, and it's a good change of pace. This song makes me think of the people who claim they hate country and then go out and, exclaim how much they love Skynyrd and the Eagles. They make me laugh. Okay, back to the song. I like the verse a lot. The chorus, no. The structure of it sounds a little forced and a little off. Like it's in the wrong song entirely. Song is a bit of a mixed bag that falls more to the side to me. This song really reminds me of the old Bruce as he really pushes the vocals. It's something he hasn't done too much in this album, and I understand because it takes great strain to push it that far. I can imagine it's not as easy to do now as it used to be. This one is an old school rock song in great form. It's hard to beat a simple but thunderous drum beat to open a song. Same goes for vocals with guitar riff response. Single lyrics here and then da-na-na, and then more lyrics here, da-na-na, stuff like that. It's a method that's tried and true and is good no matter how often it's done, for the most part. This is another song I think will benefit greatly once it's able to be performed live. One of my favorites of the album, Songs for Batman. Beyond that stupid line, I don't have much to say about this song. It's back to the old rock style, which just follows the motions. It's a bummer since the last few, stood out from the rest. I almost feel like this song is missing an intro, or it was just cut off from an earlier song. As it just kind of starts going, this song is an obvious tribute to a fallen friend, and takes the celebration side of mourning, celebrating one's life, instead of, avoiding the somber nature of mourning. We all know the feeling of losing a loved one. And while it never gets any easier, we must celebrate the lives they had while they were here with us, instead of just, constantly feeling the dread of loss. It's what they would have wanted. In the end, this album contains the classic rock and roll sound that is timeless, that spreads over generations. That being said, though, there really isn't enough here to really make it stand out, other than it being Bruce Springsteen. It's the perfect type of album to throw, on in the background during a get-together, when you want to have great music playing, but not take away from the occasion. You should definitely give this one a spin. Take care.